Welcome, everyone. We're here with Lenka Kleger, and we are here for the Trees Around the Globe Student Research Campaign, Year 4. This is the February session, and in this session, we're going to be concentrating on the Europe and Eurasia region. And today, Lenka is going to be talking to us about the Phenology Campaign. Lenka is a professional who's been in the Czech Republic since 2014, if I'm correct. You've been at Eurasia. You work in the regional office there at Europe and Eurasia, and you've been a part of the GLOBE program since 2014. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And then your background, you also have a master's degree in environmental studies, I believe, environmental science, right, from Charles University in Czech Republic, and a degree in environmental studies as well in the University of Aarhus in Denmark. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes. Yes. Aarhus University. I studied there for some shorter time. It's not a full degree, but part of my studies.
Okay. And then, so part of your position is you have a lot of different countries that are associated with the Europe and Eurasia region, 45 to be exact. So that must be a really difficult task to be able to kind of juggle all these different countries with all these different languages, very diverse population. So tell us a little bit about yourself, if I missed anything, and about the Phenology Campaign, if you like.
So thank you very much, Peter, for this nice invitation and nice introduction. I'm really happy to be here and to have the opportunity to talk about the Phenology Campaign. And what I want to emphasize about the campaign, that it's a result of really great cooperation of our small team in the Regional Coordination Office for the Europe and Eurasia region, together with the country coordinators from these many different countries, with teachers, with students, and also with many scientists, including the Trees Around the Globe campaign team. So it's a very nice work to cooperate together.
When I think of GLOBE, been around for 26 years, lots of different campaigns going on. You have clouds, you have mosquitoes, urban healing, trees. But one of the, in my opinion, one of the most popular ones, most successful, is the GLOBE European Eurasia Phenology Campaign. And right now, I know you guys are gearing up for your spring campaign. I believe it's called the 2022 Tree Spring 2022 Tree Campaign. Tongue-tied. 2022 Spring Tree Campaign. Did I get that correct?
I'm sorry, Peter. I just
no problem. I know.
Sorry for that.
No worries. So right now you have the spring campaign gearing up. Tell us a little bit about the spring campaign, what it's called, because I totally butchered the name. I think it's the 2022 Tree Spring Campaign. I think that's what it's called. Tell us a bit about that, and about if you see any center. Let me see. Yeah, tell us a bit about that. The spring campaign, please.
Yes, it's you're right. It's a little bit confusing as we are using two different names for the campaign. It's called the European Phenology Campaign, but as sometimes the word phenology might sound a bit not so familiar, so we also call the campaign Spring Tree or Tree Observation Campaign, so that it's clear what we are doing, because phenology is a science about how living organisms, how animals, plants respond to seasonal changes, to climate changes. And it's a very broad science. And in our campaign, we only focus on trees. So what we do with schools, with teachers and students, we follow the spring change of trees. So the way how trees, the buds on the trees are growing bigger and opening, and how the fresh new leaves are growing out of the buds. And then in the autumn part, we follow how, again, the tree changes, how leaves start to turn yellow and red and many different shiny colors, and how they slowly fall down. So this is the core of the campaign. And we have like almost 20 countries cooperating in this campaign. Schools from these 20 countries, they not only do the activities, but they also exchange the information, their results, their findings, their experience, and they cooperate together. As we have a so-called collaboration group where schools can be matched together into the smaller groups of 2 or 3 teams, and they can even plan some research projects, for example, or just call each other, meet on Zoom or other platform, and be in a close contact and exchange information about the trees, but also learn about the language of other country, about the culture, and so on.
With the campaign, is it open up to a lot of different participants who can participate in the campaign, and what age ranges or grade ranges do you usually have in your campaign?
We think that advantage of this campaign is that it can really, the teachers can really involve students from very young kids who can just do very simple activities, just simply observe the tree changing. Now in spring, they can just wait for the buds to open. They can do some extra things like draw pictures or just what they can achieve. But the older students can even plan some research project. They can combine the green up activities with some temperature measurements and precipitation measurements, and really plan a bigger research project. So it's really available for different age groups. And the campaign is intended for the schools from the Europe and Eurasia region. So this is where the schools come from, but all the materials, they are available on the Globe program website. So anyone who's interested, even from other regions, can join the activities, can try to observe trees in his place, and also can join our webinars, which will be organized during the spring campaign.
The things I love about the campaign as well is all the artwork that comes from it. It's so cute to see all this beautiful artwork that students are creating. So they're also bringing not just the science and technology and mathematics, engineering into it, but they're also bringing that form of art into the science, into understanding what's going on in their area with the phenology. And I think it's just beautiful to see. We don't see it enough, is what I'm saying, in my opinion. Our next question is, let me look through my list here. Okay, so we talked about all the different campaigns that we have. There's 2 that come to mind that perhaps there's some synergy there between the 2. And that is the Phenology Campaign, and also the tree campaign, the Trees Around the Road Globe Student Research Campaign, which I'm a part of. In your opinion, do you see any synergy there between the 2? Is there anything that students can work on between the 2, or if there's something that seems to mesh between those 2 campaigns?
Well, I have to say that the Trees campaign team does a really great job to put different types of globe measurement, different types of activities, and also different campaigns together, because, and I'm really happy that the Phenology campaign is kind of part of these activities, part of the Trees campaign. I think it's extremely interesting and important to look at any little piece of nature, at the tree that the school chooses or their surrounding from different points of view. So in the Phenology campaign, we focus on the green up and green down, but it's important to also know how high is the tree, for example, which is what schools can learn in the Trees campaign, or learn how the surrounding looks like, what is the land cover in your place, and other activities. It helps you to understand your environment better, to have a better view into it.
And as Globe likes to say, the more data, the better. So if you're out there making one measurement, it's totally fine to go make a separate measurement as well. I think it just can add to that. Let's see, next question. Do you recommend students and teachers in the Globe, Europe, and Eurasia region to work with data, globe data from land cover and tree height as well, and perhaps satellite data? Do you think that's helpful or useful for the students in the area as well?
Yeah, we definitely, this is something that I haven't mentioned before, that we definitely try to motivate teachers and students to work in data with data in general, and to share them, to upload them to the Globe database, so that the data can be used by the school later on, by other schools, that they can also help scientists in their research. So this is something that we consider really important. And yeah, it's definitely important to combine the two views, because you can go out and do some measurements, but this is something that happens now. You can see the situation now, but with the satellite view, you can really have much more broad view. You can also see some historical changes, which is something that's very difficult to see with your like outdoor activity. So it gives you a better overview. And of course, it's important to like measure or focus also on the land cover and tree height, and have the better view. Sorry, Peter.
That's totally fine. Yeah, you can totally get the global aspect with satellite data, and then with students adding that more, pinpoint accurate imagery from their observations. I think it really goes hand in hand. So I totally agree with you that students should go out there and make as many measurements as they can, but also to collocate that with satellites if they possibly can, if they happen to be overhead. Next question is, we're always talking about students gathering data, and it's great that they do that, but then what do they do with it next? And one of the things that Globe does is they create these student symposiums for our students. And one of them is the Globe IVSS. I'm sure you're familiar with. Do you recommend, or how important is it for students in the Europe and Eurasia region to work on research, submit the research as an IVSS project, and align their research with all these different campaigns that we've been talking about?
Yeah. Well, we us in the regional office or in the Phenology Campaign, we know that the schools in our region do really many great activities, many great projects, but it's just because we cooperate closely with them. But it's so important to let about these activities know also to people from other regions, from other parts of the world. And this is exactly what schools can do through the IVSS. So they just share their results. They show how are the outcomes of their hard work, of their trying. So they can inspire other schools, they can inspire other members of the Globe program. And so this is very important. This is, I think, core of the Globe program. And also it brings them the benefit that they can get awarded by badges, but they can also get a feedback to their work, which is, I think, perfect opportunity to have a feedback to your work from scientists, from experts. This can really help students to move on in their work. So yes, we definitely support this idea, and we try to motivate schools to join IVSS and create their projects.
I've been a judge for the past few years on the IVSS, and I have to say, each time I see one of these projects, I'm always impressed of how intricate they are. And each time I see one with phenology or one of these campaigns, I'm always pleasantly surprised and happy. I'm like, yes, they're actually using the data that's available to them and making relationships between these campaigns and their environment. So I'm always very happy to see that. I think it's a great thing to see. We have two more questions. One of them is it important, I'm sorry, it's important to look at trees, not just in rural areas, but also in cities as well. And one campaign that comes to mind is the Urban Heat Island campaign. So can you tell us how this relates to other campaigns like Phenology? If there's a relationship there that you have your students go out there and hopefully kind of make that connection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in Europe, a big part of population lives in towns or cities, and with the changing climate, the urban heat island becomes really often discussed and important topic. And we think it's very interesting to approach the tree that the schools observe within the Phenology campaign, also from the point of view how it changes the microclimate in the cities, how it relates to the city when it comes to the heat island effect, warming up of cities. So we know that trees work as some kind of coolers, that they can reduce this heating of cities. And we want to bring it to the Phenology campaign as well, this topic, to show schools how to approach it. So for this spring campaign, we decided to organize a webinar focused on this topic, and just interconnect with the Urban Heat Island campaign, invite Mr. Tchaikovsky to tell us a bit more about it, and help schools to orientate in the topic and start their activities.
We see that a lot here in the city. I live in Los Angeles, a huge metropolitan area, a lot of cities, big buildings. And yes, where there's air, there's no trees, just concrete. It is much hotter for people, and also provides, or unfortunately, more health problems for these people, especially people of older age, when there's not a lot of tree and cooling around in these areas. So we see that as well here in North America. Last question for you. Do you have anything else you would like to mention about the Globe, Europe, and Eurasia regional campaign participants, or anything else you would like to add about the Phenology campaign?
I would definitely like to invite schools to join this spring campaign, because the campaign starts now. It's the registration is now open, and schools can join by February 18. So please, if you are interested in this topic, join the campaign, come to the Globe website, and you will find information there. And so this is one thing that I would like, one invitation. And then I would like to really emphasize the topic of sharing, of letting know about the results. So if you do any research, if you do any activities related to the campaign, just let us know. But not only to us, but let know even to people around you, to your community, to your parents, friends. It's very important to try to involve other people, let them know that you are doing something good, and that you have some successes with your research.
Yeah, totally agree. Activism, making sure that message gets sent out to the people that actually need to hear about what's going on in their area. Lenka, thank you very much once again for being a part of this interview. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule, and thank you for sharing about the Phenology and the European and Eurasia region, what's going on in your area. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you guys at the next webinar. We'll make sure that we post any links to the Phenology campaign in the title of this webinar video when we post it on our Trees campaign website. So once again, Lenka, thank you very much. I really appreciate your support, and let us know if there's anything we can do for you guys in the European Phenology campaign.
Thank you very much, Peter. It was very nice talking to you, and I look forward to the next cooperation, next activities together. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.